of our series. The Netherlands, the first 3 matches. The USA will wear their red uniforms tonight. The Dutch in their dark black jerseys. And in goal for the United States, Kelsey, this evening is Jackie Briggs, the veteran.
And she is just incredible back there, you know, ranked internationally. And the Netherlands has scored a fair amount of goals in the last 2 games, doing 7 goals on the second match and 7 on the third. So Jackie Briggs really looking to get in there and just cut down those opportunities.
Jackie Briggs, over 172 caps to her credit. One of the former all-time great goalkeepers for the University of North Carolina. And prior to tonight's match, Stephanie Fee from the U.S. being recognized by head coach Yannicka Schotman. Fee, number 2 for the U.S., picking up her 100th cap. And a special night for Stephanie. So really a landmark week of field hockey for a number of players on the U.S. squad being recognized.
Absolutely, and you have a mixture of, you know, these veteran girls, you know, hitting 250 caps, which is unbelievable, and then girls just having 7. So that mixture is going to be incredible to watch this evening.
Anna Nadal will get the start in goal for the Dutch team, and she is making her 3rd consecutive start. Freudy to Melissa Gonzalez. Gonzalez picking up a goal for the United States. Outside Caitlin Van Sickle. And Batiste winds up, but it's broken up on the play. Dutch working from the outside in. And working and trying to get that corner call, but it is outside the circle. It will be hit coming in on the obstruction. DeHudo off of the restart. And a little bit too hot to handle from the outside for Lauren Stamm. So a side in for the United States.
And you can see already in the first couple minutes a heightened level of communication between the U.S. team, pressing and giving specific direction to their forwards, where they want them to hold, when they want them to go. And that connectivity is exactly what they're looking to work on here.
And Michelle Batiste with a little bit too hot of a through pass there for Kat Sharkey, but the right idea with some pressure on. And there's that little hesitation, little miscommunication there by 2 USA players going after the ball.
Yeah, and getting to catch up with goalkeeper Lauren Blazing after the last game, just emphasizing that's exactly what they are here to work on. This World Cup is still 6 months out, so not necessarily looking to, you know, worried about the specific goals, but more about that connectivity. Can you trust your teammate in front of you to take the line they're supposed to and do your role?
Broken up by Gonzalez. Erin Matson sends it long out of the reach of Jill Whitmer. Combination of Matson, Whitmer, Gonzalez, Batiste, and Sharkey.
That's a strong front field for the U.S. All of them with an excellent amount of skill and speed, which is very hard to defend.
Here is Sharkey trying to turn the corner. Stamm is on her, riding her, but Sharkey takes it in deep. Has it knocked away. Van Sickle tried to keep it alive and knocked and slowed down there by Ginolfi. Pressure there by Gonzalez. Jill Whitmer has a body on her and still stays focused and stays with it. It will be maintained by the U.S. Be easy to lose your cool in that situation, too.
Absolutely, and the U.S. is putting on some very high pressure at the start of this game, and we haven't really seen that rattle the Dutch so far, but looks to be in this first couple minutes.
Nice job by Van Sickle. A little bit more body contact, too. I noticed that quite a few of the Dutch players are either leaning in or pushing off with their shoulder a little bit more.
And that's exactly what the U.S. really wants them to do. The Dutch are very, very good at finesse, aren't the most physical team internationally, while the U.S. has a reputation for being. So if the U.S. can get the Dutch to start playing their game and not playing their own, they're going to be more successful.
Batiste steps aside. And Lauren Moyer. Sharkey trying to give chase. And a long hit for the United States squad. Moyer has a goal to her credit. And she is near the top of the circle on the far side for the U.S. squad right now. Gonzalez trying to work quickly on the restart. Ball inside. Nearly had a corner opportunity there. Gonzalez giving chase. Nicely done by the U.S. Whitmer is on that far post, and she was sliding in. And we're going to have a card as she was really marked tightly. And interesting enough, it's Whitmer that goes off. I saw that play completely different.
I'm a little shocked by that. Clearly the referee must have seen something before the play that we didn't. What a great cross ball by Erin Matson. Getting that ball hard across the front of the cage and trusting your teammate on the far post to come in and get a tip on it.
So the Dutch with a player-up opportunity now and rushing into the circle. Keep an eye on Hilson, who's down low. Van Sickle is marking her. You can hear Jackie Briggs directing traffic out in front. Stom. Long through pass that's tipped by Van Sickle. Moyer will now work through the double team.
Great bit of skill there by Moyer. The U.S. has been a little bit hesitant in the last 3 matches just to take the Dutch on in that 1v1 or even 1v2 and really utilize their stick skills. Good confidence by Moyer to come through with that.
Lauren Moyer named to the national team in 2017. She earned her first cap versus Ireland in the series in Lancaster. Chased down by Ali Freudy, who's had an exceptional series on the defensive side. Here's Van Sickle. Nicole Woods. Nicely done and tapped up ahead between Sheely and Moyer, former teammates at Carolina.
You can definitely tell they know where each other are on the field.
Turned and whipped around by Moyer, and it's saved by Venedal.
And this is where you have to be really careful with the Dutch. Right when you have an opportunity offensively, they're turn around and back down the field. So can never really take a rest with them.
And we did witness that on 2 different occasions on Sunday evening where the U.S. got caught just a little bit deep in the circle. 3 passes, the Dutch were upfield, and with a high-velocity shot.
Yeah, they are the best in the world for the reason, and one of them is their counterattack opportunities, and you can see it right here.
Give and goes on to Ward from the top of the circle. Maria Vachor, number 11, with 2 goals in this series.
And 2 beautiful goals nonetheless. Just taking a look at them warming up and kind of the pace that they have on their shots that are offbeat as well, which make it very, very hard for a goalkeeper to save.
True marksman as far as finding the corners, and if they aren't finding a corner, they're ricocheting it off of a post and nearly find the
Ab-
back of the goal.
Absolutely. And that is just the difference between, majority of college players and this international level is they're not just shooting to shoot, they're placing it exactly where they want it. Their heads up. They know where the goal is. It doesn't move throughout the game. So they are putting it right into the corner, which, makes the goalkeeper have to work.
Van Sickle. Good pressure by Sharkey. Matson now retreats it back. Caitlin Janolfi will restart it for the United States to Stephanie Fee. Big ball. Matson has it taken away. Shore. Taylor West now coming to the far side, trying to open up an opportunity as players were switching on the move. Foot race is on. And great recovery.
Well done by Aaron, Alyssa Manley. I mean, that is the player for the Dutch on the far side is very quick, and for her to not only match that, but drop that shoulder in a little bit and come up with that tackle is just really well done.
Stom working on Nicole Woods, who's being very patient. Nice dribble there, rewarded with the call. And Fee will take it as the numbers move up for the United States. Freudy. Matson gets a stick on it. And good hustle by Aaron Matson, continuing to try to break up the motion of the Dutch. Lerink up to Van Heffen. Little tap inside. And out of the reach of Van Heffen from de Herval. Here is where the Dutch are tactically strong.
Mm-hmm.
Spreading it out. And really, it's, for anyone that's watching at home, high schools, younger groups, these are the type of little tactical games you can play with. You don't have to have a full squad on the field, 3 or 4 different friends, and just work on your passing.
Absolutely. Oh, beautiful, beautiful ball through. I mean, what sticks out about the Dutch is their patience. Head up, looking for opportunities. Majority of the time, they know where they're going to pass before they even receive it. So working on pre-scanning and anticipating your next pass is pivotal for being a top player.
It'll stay with the Dutch just outside the circle. Leadaway Welton, who had a hat trick and a goal in separate games with the ball, and a corner called. Possibly impeded on the play.
I think the U.S. players are a little confused about why that corner was awarded. Possibly obstruction, but, the ball going out of bounds anyways. A little bit of a tough call.
So the first corner opportunity of the evening for the Dutch. As the United States squad putting on their masks. Kitty Van Male will insert. To the top. Draken over the top, nicely saved there by Jackie Briggs. Kept their eyes low, and her whole body was down low.
Yep, anticipating possibly a low shot or a reflection off of a tip. So great job by Jackie, staying central. She saw that ball all the way in and cleared it nice and wide.
Nice outlet. Gonzalez is up ahead sprinting. Van de Musen. Here comes Vati. She's got a little room and unable to get a shot off.
Well done taking that shot right when she enters the circle. The U.S. has been working on that for multiple years now, of just the confidence of not having a pretty shot, but just getting the ball on goal.
Here come the Dutch on the breakout. Sharkey recovering nicely for the U.S. You can hear her with directives out on the field. Keitels up ahead. And we will have a corner call as Ali Forty just a little too aggressive, trying to get her body in position there to take out the play.
I mean, and great reception up top by the Dutch player on her reverse, trapping that ball down. And Forty, unfortunately, just committed already with her body.
Ali Forty out of Warrenton, Virginia, Miami of Ohio. Helped the team win a gold at the World League in Johannesburg. Joined the national team in 2017. So Van Maling once again gets set. Comes out to Zandeward on the stop. Whoa, and a redirect. And a long hit.
Beautiful option by the Dutch. That inserter steps back in, holds wide, looks to pull that goalkeeper out and tip it in, just unfortunately too wide.
Hit coming out for the United States as Forty calls for it. Steffi is wide on the far side of the field. And a one touch to Gonzalez in the middle. She is converged upon. Batiz comes back, unfortunate. Got caught up in her feet. Will come back to the Dutch on a side in. Under a minute to go here in the first.
Beautiful reception by Kat Sharkey.
Here's Batiz. Back to Sharkey. Held whistle, yes, it will come back to the United States. Fee. 40. With a hard pass into the circle through. Broken up by the Dutch. Welton has it broken up by Freudy. Quick restart. A little bit of time as it comes hot into the circle, and nicely done and broken up by Alyssa Manley. And the first quarter is in the books. Scoreless between the U.S. and the Netherlands. We saw some bright spots, I thought, there in that first quarter of play.
Really, in personal opinion, this first quarter being the best that we've seen the U.S. play so far, connecting the most attacking opportunities that they've had, almost equal time in each other's attacking circles. So hopefully that transitioning into some numbers in the second quarter.
As the teams step aside, we will as well. You're watching the live stream of USA Field Hockey versus the Netherlands on usafieldhockey.com. Welcome back to Varsity Turf Field, Stanford University, Stanford, California. You see Tara Danielson walking up in the crowd, the head coach of Stanford, and she's actually speaking with Shelly Onstead, the head coach at Cal right now. And great to see those two coaches. Great respect for each other when they get on the field. With their respective teams, they want to beat each other. But one of the really, truly the main reasons why West Coast field hockey is here at the collegiate level and really progressing along and catching up to the East. There's no question about it.
Absolutely, and you know, just each school getting better only makes them individually better. So those coaches have a lot of respect for one another, and field hockey is a small world, so a lot of the coaches, majority of the time, know each other. They play each other on a regular schedule, and it just makes hockey better.
Absolutely. We're back to live action here in quarter number 2 with the Dutch penetrating into the circle, and Lauren Nunjek able to force that corner call.
And speaking with Michelle Batiste, you know, one of her pieces of feedback was just not giving up soft corners, that there are going to be situations where the Dutch, you know, exemplify an excellent portion of skill, but only giving them corner opportunities when they absolute must, because the Dutch execute so well on their offensive corners.
Lorden Leering will insert now. A low shot that goes up and over. Nice save by Jackie Briggs. And the Dutch will restart on a long hit.
Jackie Briggs has really been incredible in this first portion of play. And for those at home, just her communication in the backfield and demanding her players to position themselves where she wants them.
Nice breakout here by Lauren Shealy. She does not have the numbers. Recognize that. Actually went into a corner area to kind of protect herself with the ball.
Absolutely, waiting for her numbers to create that offensive attack.
Whitmer on the far post. West about up at the hash mark of the stroke line now as the U.S. squad continues to move. Gonzalez is down low in front of Venedal. Poked away. Van Sickle trying to keep it alive for the United States. Good strong throw upfield, and that opens up the play, but it comes back to the U.S. Lauren Shealy. Holson was calling for it, broken up on the play.
Great job by Caitlin Van Sickle, not necessarily coming up with the ball, but just disturbing the play. And that's a key characteristic that you have to have as a defender.
Dutch tried to rework it back around the opposite side now. Gonzalez giving chase as Thom picks it up. For sure. Tries to reverse it into the circle, broken up. And Janolfi knocks it away. It'll be a hit for the Dutch up top. Stam. You could hear Lauren Shealy providing directive for the U.S. squad. Broken up on the play. Some space there. And the shot going wide. Dutch claiming that they thought it went off of a U.S. player, to no avail. Keep an eye on number 29, Marcia Krekler, who is down low, being marked tightly by Caitlin Van Sickle right now. Caitlin kind of riding her outside that circle area, now follows her back into play. Shuffled back in, a little bit too high, be a hit coming out.
The U.S. really getting numbers back on defense here. You know, we've seen opportunities open up for the Dutch in the last 3 matches when they're up numbers and it's an offensive, counterattack. Now the U.S. hustling back, getting numbers behind ball, and almost having a double team on every person that receives it.
Cole Woods trying to ride the play to the outside. It worked. It comes back to the United States. We have certainly seen more sustained play inside the 25 by the United States.
Absolutely. Creating offensive attacks, which they haven't been able to do in the first 2 matches, a little bit more on Sunday, but now being able to transition defensively as well.
Tough place for that ball to fly down. And Van Male nearly set up her teammates, but nicely done by the U.S. as Zonda Ward was not able to finish the play on Jackie Briggs.
I think the Dutch are going to be a little disappointed in that play. I mean, having 2v goalkeeper there, just having the patience to turn up, receive, and get the goalkeeper on the move. So, a mistake that we don't see very often from the Dutch.
Better connection here by the U.S. as Vatisse leaves it. Held whistle for the United States right now. Sheely and Vatisse giving chase in the corner. Held whistle, broken up on the play, a green card for the United States. Ashley Hoffman will have a seat.
And Yana Kajabin not being too happy about that call from the referee.
Tipped ahead by Van Shore. Loose ball out in front and just goes wide. The Dutch asking for a review on the play.
And I think they're going to be looking for a stick hack there. I mean, we could hear it from up top. Have to take another look at it, obviously, for them to be able to see. But if they're asking for the review, clearly feeling as though they were obstructed in that play.
Should mention that all the ball girls for this series are current Stanford field hockey players. What a great opportunity to be up close right on the field with this type of level of play. You really get to appreciate a different level on the field.
Absolutely. And watching it from, even up above as compared to right on the field, they get the idea of what the international pace really is. And just great for any college athletes to understand, the pace that they should be going at in practice to transition into being successful at a game.
And I don't think, from our level up top, whether you're in the stands watching as a fan, you're watching at home, the United States players, you can remember Caitlin Van Sickle in college. You can remember Gonzalez in her days at UConn. Total body transformation right now. These guys are cut. Their diet is different. They're strong. And then to put them up against the Dutch players, who the girth of the Dutch players is just crazy ridiculous. You were talking about how filthy some of their shots are. It's just a true appreciation of athletes at this level.
Absolutely. I mean, they live, and breathe field hockey. Those girls are in the weight room every other day. And I think a lot of girls, younger girls that follow U.S. field hockey or follow Michelle Vatisse or follow Melissa Gonzalez on social media get to see kind of what commitment they have in the weight room every day. The girls can do a pull-up with 30 kilos on them. I mean, that is unbelievable. So great experience for these Stanford girls to be down on the field and see some of the players that they look up to in person.
We had a call that it was going to be a hit coming out, and now there appears to be confusion once again. Now keep in mind the Dutch are playing a player up right now, with Ashley Hoffman being given a green card. A little bit too aggressive on hold on a stick, and it is in fact a hit coming out for the United States on the restart. Forty will get it going. Scoreless match here in match number 4 between the United States and the Netherlands in this test series along the West Coast. And Vatisse loses her stick.
A little baton performance
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Flipping the stick up in the air, and surprised the Dutch player didn't get scolded a little bit for that. Anything, excessive off the ball, the referees have been shutting down pretty quickly here.
Whitmer with a soft pass to the outside. Shealy comes off. Gonzalez comes back on for the United States. Van Sickle can't handle it. Nice movement here by the Dutch. And broken up by Magden on the play. Amanda Magden, big play. She too has played solid defense for the United States throughout this series.
And the Dutch being a little bit off in their connection more than we've seen them in the first 3 games. They, as well as the U.S., are trying out new players and just seeing kind of who fits as we approach this World Cup in 6 months. So, maybe some girls that haven't played together as often as the girls that initially started the series.
Alison Annon, the head coach of the Dutch squad. And an opportunity that just slides by. Margaret Krekelar with her second opportunity there of the night. Dutch also taking in some of the sights of San Francisco on their day off, and it seems like anytime any team comes out here, they have a free day.
Absolutely. The U.S. team doing a tour of Facebook on their day off, getting to see a little bit of the Silicon Valley and the tech industry that's here, with the headquarters of Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, all those big companies that everyone's so familiar with. So really fun for them to go, take some photos, sign their names on the wall, and get to see, what this Silicon Valley area is all about.
Whitmer almost came away with that one. Just a hair out of her outstretched stick. We had talked to Caitlin Janolfi at a little bit earlier at the start of this series, and we talked about the players who have given up and this being really a professional setting for them and their lives on hold from careers that there's no question that they will go off and be successful in someday. Many of the athletes for the United States have won elite 90 or 89 awards during their times at their respective schools. And still the opportunity and when we spoke with Melissa Gonzalez, especially at the beginning of the tournament, she said, I'm just so proud to have that U.S. written on my chest right now that everything else is okay to be on hold.
Absolutely. I mean, these girls don't only perform on the field, all of them in their college years performing well academically. Ali Forty, who's playing center back, putting off nursing school, getting into school and saying, hey, I'll put that on hold for a little bit while I have the opportunity and my body has the opportunity to play at that level. Caitlin Janolfi is, finishing up some speech pathology, and Alicia Woodall, doing a degree at DeVry for sports science. So these girls are, not only pursuing athletics here, but maybe in their off time, pursuing academics as well with some online opportunities.
Well, and I know, and Caitlin was picking your brain a little bit too about how the workforce was.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Melissa Gonzalez debating a future in medicine, and what goes along with that. And, often them wanting classes to be taken within the last 5 to 10 years. And how does that go into an application when you say, hey, I've been playing on the national team, for the last 10 years. So that always being an excellent thing that you can really never go back to.
Always great when you could take online classes. Stephanie Fee, in case you're joining us late, Steph picking up her 100th cap, being recognized prior to tonight's match. with some flowers from head coach Janneke Schopman. Here's Nicole Woods. And if the U.S. can just turn the corner here, West, and nicely done, first corner opportunity for the United States. They had Moyer up top, kind of sagging, and West down low.
Yeah, great job by Jill Whitmer using that 3D skill, as they say, popping that ball up in the air and then changing the direction of it to expose the foot of the Netherlands player.
So this is a first corner opportunity of the night for the United States. It comes with 3:07 remaining in this second quarter. And we talk about taking advantage when the clock is stopped. This is a free opportunity, obviously, as Caitlin Van Sickle will insert. Green card given to the Netherlands, as evidently a player was up over the line.
Yeah, potentially jumping early and not staying in the cage, and, you know, obviously getting penalized for that.
So a little bit more of an opportunity here for the United States. There will be less chasers headed out on that ball and flying out. See if the U.S. can take advantage of it. Stop by Gonzalez. Down low by Ashley Hoffman and ricocheting off a stick.
Great shot by Ashley Hoffman, you know, executing the skill of a drag flick, and her just being in college, that being a key reason joining the U.S. team, that she provides that skill set, which is so needed for the U.S. team.
Side in there for the Dutch, actually was inside. It came off of Moyer's foot. Knocked down there by Van Sickle. Nicely done by Caitlin. Manley. And Hoffman works back up the opposite side. Woods. Just want to see that burst of speed that Nicole Woods provides as well. Complimenting Whitmer, who is chasing the ball down here. Nearly misplayed, almost into the hands of Jill Whitmer.
Absolutely, she is putting some pressure on those defenders in the back, and they're feeling it.
West to Woods. And just a little bit too far ahead, but she gets it back. Here's Nicole. Trying to work fast. Fees wide on the far side here, and it comes to her. Popped up by Whitmer and knocked away. Marloes Ketels with the knock away, but it comes back to the United States. Lauren Moyer trying to sell a little bit. She thought it was too far of a spacing to be called on an obstruction, but it will come back to the Dutch. Under a minute to go here in the second quarter of play.
And the U.S. pressure and the pace at which they press actually having some effect on the Dutch players right now. Their first touch is a little off and turning over the ball in the backfield more than we've seen.
Van Sickle up to Fee. Trying to lay it up ahead for Nicole Woods, just too far. Under 30 seconds to go now here in the second. Nice, sweet, flat pass, and broken up by the United States, under 10. And that'll do it here in the second quarter of play. Scoreless at the half between the Netherlands and the U.S. Impressive job by the United States.
Absolutely. Looking like really an even match here as the U.S. has really stepped up their pressure, been working on their connectivity the first 3 games, and that really stringing together now. So if they can continue that into the second half, they're going to be putting up a fight against the Dutch team.
Jackie Briggs and her teammates step aside, and we will as well. You're watching the Netherlands and the U.S., the live stream on usafieldhockey.com. Welcome back to Varsity Turf Field for the third quarter action between the United States and the Netherlands. Leah Secondo and Kelsey Shearer with you. As we get set to go here in the third, U.S. with the pass back. And actually both teams were ready to go. Brief conversations with their respective coaches. We have seen the Netherlands strike quickly in 2 of the matches coming out in the third. So these first few minutes certainly key.
Absolutely, and the U.S. just setting the tone that they did in the very beginning of the game with their high pace and making sure that their first touch is on and their next pass is right away.
Michelle Vitisse goes to work. Through ball that Whitmer cannot get to. Great work there as Gonzalez comes out of the pack with the ball, now works it back. Alyssa Manley. Manley has it broken up by Welton. Manley riding the play, trying to continue to break it up. There's Erin Matson doing her work. Erin getting significant playing time through this series. Long hit for the Dutch. Matson, as we mentioned, one of the youngest players on a reverse chippy, and knocked away there by Jackie Briggs. She's had great vision on the ball tonight. Look out, give and go action. And the Dutch, as we talked about in 2 of the matches played of 3 thus far, this being the 4th, answering quickly in the third and getting on the board. Marilis Kittels with the goal. Give an assist to Lauren Lerink. Lerink with a nice one-touch pass.
And a little bit of ricochet even there. The U.S. getting their sticks in there, disrupting the play, but just not being enough and just not marked up tight enough on that backside.
See how the United States responds. Side in for the Dutch. And Venedal comes out and plays it, as that was an extremely slow-moving ball. Here we go. We have some numbers for the United States. Good recovery, though, by the Dutch, as Vitisse on a trail was calling for it.
And you can see those veterans looking for each other. Kat Sharkey knowing that when she gets her head up, Michelle Vitisse is always going to be joining the attack coming forward. So just not making the connection that time, but always looking for each other off the ball.
Van Sickle breaks it up. Magadan in a double team is wildly stick-tacked, and she will get the call. Freudy to the outside to Van Sickle. Caitlin has some room to work. Ginolfi is hung up on a stick. Here comes Gonzalez. Nice dribble. Ginolfi breaks it up. It should stay with the U.S. It'll be a corner. The Dutch try to delay it. And the umpires recognizing that immediately, and thus the reason for the corner call.
And the umpires have had no tolerance for that throughout this whole series, being very clear with the girls that if you touch the ball after there is a foul, they will be rewarded a corner if it's in the 25.
So this is the second corner opportunity for the United States tonight. First one on this end of the field.
And we see Kat Sharkey up top, who rocketed a shot in the second match against the Netherlands. So keeping an eye out for her at the top for that option.
Janoffi and Gonzalez will stop. Vatisse slides it, broken up on the play. Still kept alive by the United States. Janoffi trying to keep it alive, but works. Good job in placement of the ball. There wasn't an open door there for a clean shot.
Really good job by the U.S. If it breaks down and you don't have an opportunity to get a shot, just winning another corner and resetting themselves to put it in the net this time.
Here comes the U.S. again. Nice follow through and they score on the set piece. Kat Sharkey, her second goal of this series. And we're all knotted up at one.
Man, can that girl rip the cover off of the ball. Two corners, very similar to one another. Kat Sharkey, just a simple straight shot right to the corner with a lot of power, almost impossible to stop.
Perfect on the stop. That's just as important as being able to rip that shot. Have to have that nice insert. They've got that, got the nice stop. And then Sharkey completes the play. 1-1 here in the third. Catos tries to work it ahead. 3 USA players converge on the ball, and whistle goes to the Dutch. Be inside the 25, off of the restart. Broken up by West. Lauren Stom has to race it down and bring it back into play. Moyer and Shealy doing a nice job. Little Tar Heel action in the corner. Catos as a goal to her credit, for sure. Broken up on the play by Steph Fee.
Great job by Stephanie Fee defensively as someone's winding up to take that hit, not shying away from it, but dropping in and laying a block tackle while that shot is going off.
Nice jab tackle there by Stom as well. Comes back to the United States. They've got a little bit of room here. Moyer to Woods. Nicole trying to break around a double team, unable to do so. On to Hervo. Gets her feet around now. Big ball ahead. Zonda Ward. Stom. And Janolfi easily whacks it away.
She's not messing around with that ball. She's getting it out, making sure that they have no opportunities to come back in a counterattack.
Stom. Lauren. Vashor trying to work on Steph Fee. And Caitlin Vitzickle unfortunately overplayed. Ashley Hoffman breaking it up. And out to Nicole Woods.
Great job by the U.S. just protecting their feet, really learning from the previous last couple plays, not giving up a corner, making sure they're protecting their feet, and then letting a teammate come up with the ball.
And the best way, Kels, to protect your feet, is it just a matter of keeping them moving or keeping your stick lower or what?
That's a great question, and it's both. Keeping that stick down, anytime you bring it up, you're exposing your feet. And two, not planting your feet in the circle. A lot of people do a block tackle and plant their feet like they're in cement. Not what you can do with the Dutch because they're always on the move.
And great little tackle there by Hilson. Dutch on the rush, as Hilson was calling for it. Welton on obstruction. Both squads are able to dress 17 players, so there's quite a contingent of players from both squads, the U.S. squad and the Dutch squad, in the stands, and you can hear them cheering on their teammates, which is great for the Dutch. It's nice to know that they have somebody in the stands here cheering for them, and of course the U.S. players being able to mingle with the fans.
Absolutely. And just each side being good teammates to one another. When you're in the game performing your role, but you have a role when you're off the field as well. And catching up with some of the girls earlier that knew that college players like Nicole Woods and Ashley Hoffman had to leave after the match.
Zonda Ward on Jackie Briggs. And Jackie easily knocking that away. Outside the circle coming in. Zonda Ward, great stick work, and it will stay with the Dutch. Corner call.
And Michelle Viti is just not giving that 5 yards, making sure that you're 5 yards away defensively, not engaging until they touch that ball.
Dutch will set up here.
And the U.S. just defensively trying out some new people in these positions. Taylor West being a flyer, rotating in for Michelle Gonzalez. Amanda Magadine has done that throughout the series. So just seeing, what puzzle pieces fit where.
Dutch setting up a little slide action. Jackie Briggs keeps it in front, and we're going to have our first stroke of the series. Hard to see where that got hung up.
And I think Stephanie Fee asking for a video review on that. Nice slip up top by the Netherlands, really faking like they're going to drag flick, slipping it, having a hard sweep on goal, and tough to see kind of what happened right in front of the keeper, but they'll be able to decipher that via video review.
And while they review the play, a few days ago, the United States Field Hockey Association recognizing the 2018 Hall of Fame induction class. That will happen St. Patrick's Day, actually, in Baltimore, Maryland, at the Lord Baltimore Hotel. The inductees for the class of 2018, Steve Danielson, assistant coach out here at Stanford, Kelly Smith-Puzo, Amy Tran-Swenson. Now, honorary members being recognized in Baltimore, Helen Allen and Barb Carraro. And, of course, the humanitarian award winner this year, Jean Lipsky. So congratulations to the class of 2018. What a way to be recognized by your sport. It's always, especially when you stop playing the game, I think you appreciate it a little bit more. And of course, Steve Danielson, person that's close to your heart, helped shape you into the woman you are today.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, his knack for building skill and each of his individual players is unmatched by other coaches. And so just to see people that have had such an impact on the world of hockey, and of course being recognized for what they did as a player, but that they continue to give back to field hockey, you know, in the form of coaching and mentoring these young athletes. So really rewarding and exciting for all the people that know these individuals to celebrate them.
And again, that will be March 17th at the Summit, 3-day summit in Baltimore, Maryland. Can't make the Hall of Fame. There's plenty of other activities involved with USA Hockey that weekend. Off of a foot of a Dutch player, it will be no stroke after the review. So they took the time, got the call right, and it'll be a hit. So actually a huge turn of events in what would have been our first stroke of the series. Now coming to a hit coming out.
And Wilton looking almost stunned in the front there as she saw that review come back from the referee. So I'm sure the Dutch not happy about that call, but we'll see how they respond.
On the rush quickly once again, the Dutch. Players trying to get any advantage that they possibly can. Michelle Fatisse will bring it back. She was just trying to get going before the Dutch players could set up.
And the U.S. doing a good job of that this game, really taking those quick free hits quickly and catching the Dutch off guard.
Nunjuk. Big sweeping ball inside the circle that goes right on through. It'll stay with the Netherlands, but in a tough, tough spot in the corner there. Big ball coming across. Zonderward and Litterink.
Great job by the U.S. defensively, almost swarming the forward as they received it. So great job protecting their feet, not giving up a corner, and just clearing that ball out wide.
Van Sickle looking quickly. She's got Ashley Hoffman out wide. Goes the opposite way. Whitmer trying to knock it ahead. She does. Great movement by the U.S. Starting to see that comfort zone and recognizing the speed.
Absolutely. Melissa Manley, Kat Sharkey, and Jill Whitmer, all people that played together in the last Olympics. So feeling the flow, moving off ball, and making those connections.
Stays with the Dutch. Zonderward up top. Great triangle movement there between the U.S. squad in a very short space. Peen Saunders. K-Tells. Comes back to Larink. DeGody. And Larink, and up over the top. Jackie Briggs outstretched. And it goes wide. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third.
And the Dutch teammates out in the crowd here really cheering on their teammates on the field, feeling like maybe they need a little bit more of an oomph behind what they're doing. Being tied 1-1 in the third quarter, where previously they have been dominating these matches.
Dutch stick with the right side, trying to do their work. Gonzalez goes back to Whitmer. Here comes pressure by the United States. The intensity is for sure. Slides up off of Magadan's stick. Loose ball in front. Dutch trying to call for a corner, but they didn't play through the ball. Don't get the call. Under a minute to go as a big ball downfield.
Man, the U.S. just solid defensively in that circle in this third quarter, not giving up anything easily, getting jabs in and leaning in when the Dutch players are winding up for a shot.
Nearly catching a break there as that ball nearly went out. Here's Gonzalez out hustling the Dutch right now. Magadan out wide. Sharkey gets bumped off the play. And a no call. Three red jerseys converge, and that forces the pressure back as we're under 10 seconds to go here in the third. Ball coming back to the U.S. Nicely done by Amanda Magadan, too. I think she should have had, well, she's going to run out of time here, but nicely done by the U.S. as we have played three, tied at 1.
U.S. really stepping up in this third quarter and 1-1 with the Dutch theme, where previously we've seen, numbers like 7-1. So hopefully converging in this fourth quarter and finishing off the series how they want to.
The final 15 on the flip side as the United States will talk it over. You're watching USAFieldHockey.com. Back to Varsity Turf Field, Stanford University, Stanford, California. Kelsey Shearer, Leah Secondo with you for our final quarter of the series between the United States in possession of the ball right now and the Netherlands. So glad you've been able to join us here on USAFieldHockey.com. Held whistle for the Dutch as it comes into the circle. Welton has it broken up. Vashore with the reverse stick across. Nice save by Briggs. And we will have a card. And Ali Forty will step aside.
Holding that card and that whistle from the initial tackle that she clearly felt was within that 5-meter mark.
A little bit outstretched to be a hit coming out. Ginolfi takes it herself. Breaks it back up, but is maintained. Sharkey gets a stick on it. Hit coming out for the United States.
And tough break for them with a yellow card. I mean, green card with 2 minutes is, there and gone before you know it. But that yellow card can be up to 10, and it's tough to play without your center defense.
She has played so strong for the United States throughout this series. Sickle will play it off of Briggs' pads. Little rush by the United States. Cole Woods is ahead. Shealy was ahead. She'll come back. And a big ball the opposite way out of the outstretched Kitty Van Male.
And the U.S. team just talking to us about being intentional with their passes, not just coughing up the ball or throwing it anywhere, making sure it's stick to stick or into a good piece of space that someone can run onto.
Van Male has Welton, and Zonda Ward had it broken up there by Gonzalez. Vashor now with it broken up. I don't think that was 5, and it wasn't.
A yellow for a yellow.
Yeah. So Van Male will have a seat. Got a little too aggressive in playing that ball. So we're even.
And really unfortunate, it's just not worth it in that portion of the field. Ali Forty having to kind of make that tackle with a one-on-one coming into the circle. If you're at the 50 and you don't get 5 and getting a yellow card awarded for that, it's just not worth it.
Here's Woods trying to turn it back inside. Van Sickle being chased now. Nicely done on the deke move off Alerink. Short. Trying to work her around 2 U.S. defenders. May have played the wrong side of her stick there. Fatisse. Stays with the U.S. Fatisse working quickly here. Michelle. And unfortunately, Ginolfi unable to get a stick on it. But this is Welton in the open field. And how quickly the Dutch work. Welton leaving it behind for Stam and knocked away.
I mean, the speed on Welton, almost making everyone else look like they're in slow motion. And that's how quickly the Dutch get from one side of the field down to the other.
Worked like a magician. That ball came out of nowhere. Shealy looking for Woods. For sure. Out to Nicole Woods. Looking for some help. To Vatisse. Ginolfi in the middle of the field. And pushed off the ball was Magadan and somehow maintained control. Was able to get back up. Talk about staying focused. It would have been easy to throw an arm or get involved in the play, and she maintained her focus.
And that's the strength that they work on so much in the weight room. Being pushed off the ball, how do you maintain, lock in your core, stand up, and win the play off of that?
Pressure deep is the Dutch trying to break it out here. Don't have the numbers on the outside. Vashor now coming wide for the Dutch on the far side of the field. Really overplaying the ball to the right side for a second there. Stom has some room. Goes flat with it. Magadan steps up trying to take it away. Keep an eye on Larynx. She's on that far post. Good job by the defense for the United States. And knocked down by Degodi.
Caitlin Van Sickle in a great position, making sure she's in the line to that tipper and putting a body on her.
Side in as Alyssa Manley will take the hit. A great ball. Stom. Flat for the play. And Steph Fee doing a good job stepping up on Kreklar, not allowing her to get that ball. Rewarded with the side in. Big ball up ahead. United States trying to work it in. And Whitmer out to Vatisse. Michelle trying to take it deep. Stays with the U.S. Genolfi will take the hit. Sharkey already has one goal to her credit. Will take the side in. Dutch on the rush, broken up momentarily. They'll have to bring that ball out wide. Totally didn't even take it in the area of where that one was.
Little surprised they let her get away with that.
Exactly. Hoffman being very patient as the Dutch were just trying to pin something deep.
And very patient and good decision making for her age. You know, being so young and still being in college, that's a lot of times you have young players that are fast and skillful, but just haven't had the experience to make good decisions. She really has shown and proven that she can do that.
Lauren Sheely, flat pass to Steph Fee. Fee brings it back to Van Sickle as Welton providing some pressure in the back. A little slide pass, just a little bit too far ahead for Magadan. Van Moskar played down nicely. And a tip ball, actually a held whistle there as Welton carries it in deep. Hilson was there, and Leadaway Wilton with the goal for the Dutch, putting them up 2-1 now. Leadaway Wilton showing her speed, burst up ahead, and utilizing that extra player to their advantage on the outside as she carried it in. The Dutch now up 2-1.
And Jackie Briggs just giving some feedback to her defenders after that shot. You know, when someone takes a full swing 10 yards away, it's pretty impossible for a goalkeeper to make the save. There must be pressure on the ball there. So just giving the feedback to her defenders, hey, need you to step up and close that down next time.
Side in for the Dutch as Jill Whitmer tries to take away that back pass. Fee to the outside. Moyer has it taken away. Von Hervel. Welton slides it up ahead to Godey. And it's a corner. Right up into Steph Fee. just like they know how to brand it.
Those Dutch players are looking for it. When they're on the baseline and they have a poor angle shot, what are they looking for? To turn it into a foot. They're excellent at doing it. They train at it all the time and then executing these set corner pieces.
So 4:38 to go. We had a scoreless match at the half. All of the scoring has been done in the third and fourth quarters here. As Kitty Van Male will insert. Kept low is Darhanhusen. And nicely done by the United States. It'll be a hit coming out. And working quickly. Whitmer trying to go up ahead. Is Madsen. Taps it up to Sharkey. Cat trying to work around that corner. Stays with it. Works and slides through the defenders. Madsen. And we have a Dutch player on the ground.
Great job by Kat Sharkey, just going in there like a bull in a china house. I mean, her skills in a small space and then really putting it into a body when someone's on the ground will win you a corner.
It'll be interesting to see if they decide where that actually happened there. It is a corner for the United States. Is on the play, Lauren Stamm able to walk off under her own power.
Michelle Vitisse up top with a great sweep, and Kat Sharkey up top, who we have seen nail that ball in a corner a couple times. So good people to look out for here.
Gonzalez and Manley ready to stop up top. Sharkey keeps it low. Looked like it came off a foot. United States was calling it immediately, and it was. It'll be a corner again.
This really being great practice for the U.S. You know, you practice it over and over again against your own defense, but just to see how other teams run their defense and really work all the options that you have.
Sickle is ready. Sharkey again, up off a stick, ricochets off the crossbar. And hit coming out, Dutch catch a break. Not going to be in any hurry really to take the hit as the clock on their side. Hoffman trying to work with Whitmer. Schor has it broken up by Frody. Welton. And the Dutch retreat a little bit. Oh, great outstretched work there by Kitty Van Male. Did not get the call, but that was put in a great, interesting spot. Is that?
It's a great space to see. Great ball through the length of the field for a striker running into space. Defended well by Ashley Hoffman, stepping up, making a tackle right as she receives it.
Closing in on 2.5 to go. It's been a great 5 days here for both the U.S. squad and the Netherlands as they get set to train for the World Cup coming up in July in London. Of course, the Netherlands, the top team in the world. Olympics 2 years away.
And you can hear the urgency in the U.S. team as they're communicating. High pressing right now, really trying to finish off and tie up this game with 2 minutes left.
Dutch will be satisfied just trying to maintain possession of the ball. If they get that burst, we have seen them take advantage, trying to see if they can push some numbers ahead. U.S. looking to try to converge, obviously, and get one good rush. Red jerseys converging there. Watch Lernick and Welton. Welton is right on Jackie Briggs's pads as we hit the 1 minute mark to go in this match. U.S. needs to work quickly. Stays with the Dutch, in no hurry now. Great area ball. We haven't seen too many area balls. I thought we would potentially see more.
Especially when teams high press. What a great way to relieve that pressure by just tossing it up and overhead.
Sickle trying to put one on goal. Sharkey with under 10 to go. Gets it on the cage. It goes wide. And that will do it here from Varsity Turf Field. The Netherlands takes all 4 matches in this series tonight, defeating the United States 2-1.
And the U.S. really, though, coming out and doing exactly what they came to do. From the first game till this final one, a huge difference from the U.S. team. So working on their connection, building as a team, leading up to the World Cup in 6 months.
Kelsey, it's been a pleasure working with you, getting your insight and perspective as a